Good morning from rainy Virginia. It has been raining for days and days and days. And when it's not raining, it's just cloudy. So, wool hat, wool sweater, woolies under here, and It's not frigid cold, it's damp and cold. Kind of like living in a cave, or, yeah, it's just wet, very wet. And I'm grateful for the rain because my water tanks are full, both of them, to overflowing, and that is a blessing. So, how are y'all doing? You keeping an eye on all them crazy things going on out there? Me too. I'm like, stop trying to yank my chain and get me all fretting and worrying. But I do see the signs of the season we're in. So I am preparing my heart, my mind. I'm even working on my body. It was a hard winter on this whole girl, and I'm trying to recover, and I will just own up to I ate way too much sugar. Sugar. I'd rather eat Peeps than a steak. Not really. I'd rather have the steak. But since I can't have the steak, I eat the Peeps. Peeps and cookies, and oh, it was just terrible. And finally, I was like, Father, I've got to do something. Please help me. And guess what? He did. And so I have experienced right much relief. It was hard to cut it cold turkey. And on about day 3, boy, did I have some massive withdrawal from all the sugar. Now, I still have some sugar, but it's organic and it only goes in my tea. Which has been quite the replacement for all the sugar. So I'm feeling back to myself, whatever that might mean. Oh my goodness. And our poor little David, y'all please pray for him. Now I haven't heard from him yet this week, but I talked to him over the weekend, I think. And he was still out of work with his back. So I know for 2 weeks. And I know that when your back's really bad, it can take more than 2 weeks to recover. So we should pray for him that he did not go back to work too soon and do more damage. That's Mama Yaya talking to you, David. Just go lay down, relax, get well. So, what have I been doing? Well, my last video, and even in this video, you will see me wearing a little tank top because it got warm. And it was like that for a few days. And I thought, oh, yay, it's really summer. I better get my windows covered up. So I made curtains. And that's what you see in the video. I'm showing you the bed and the curtains. Now, and you can see one here where I've got it pulled down so that the sun can come in, if there was any sun. There's not a lot of sun, but there's light. So the light's coming in, so I don't really feel like I'm in a cave. And in the summer, all I got to do is take that curtain and pull it up and let out the bottom, and it will cover the whole window and reflect the sun away, so it won't get so hot in here in the mornings. I know that from last year. So I had, and y'all might even remember, those you've been following along this journey, it's the same fabric I used last year, and I actually hung it on a string. But now I got my pretty, which you can't see in this one. There you go, my trim. So it looks very pretty, very nice. I'm feeling very accomplished because if you know, you know. And if you don't know, I'm on solar. Well, if you ain't getting no sun, you ain't getting no solar. So I have to juggle everything. The computer requires energy. So does my sewing machine. And so does my phone and my lights and my lamps. So I have to balance that with how much sun is coming in. And I'll be honest, I waited a day too long to start producing this video because my battery's down. But it'll be okay. I got enough. I got enough on here. Yep, I do. And I got enough on there, my battery pack, that will charge this when it gets down low. And there's a lot. So I'm not going to talk for a long time. I'm going to try not to talk for a long time. But I want to explain some of the things that you saw in the video earlier with all the pretty music. Number one, I made pillows for my sofa. Ta-di-da. I made these out of the extra yarn, and I think I mentioned this. I think I mentioned this in my last video that Emily had given me a bunch of yarn. And that's how I finished Molly a skirt. And you will see the big granny squares. Well, they're a bag. And I made it for my Sarah for her birthday. But you don't see the finished product because I still have it in my possession. And I want to surprise her with it. So you only see it partly finished. Just a sneak preview. Now, when I got done doing Molly's skirt and I got done doing Sarah's bag, I made a pillow. And it did not turn out the way I wanted it to, but I was trying to use up so much yarn. And this one is stuffed completely full with where I had to tie in or weave in. I had to weave in all the ends of all them granny squares. And you have these little threads you cut off. And I saved them all and I stuffed a pillow. Now, I'm debating on this way. Piper likes all the little fringy things. It was leftover yarn. I wish I had saved more blue yarn, but I had a blue and a purple that were combined. Doesn't really go. Now, why did I take that white cover off the bed, Melody? Because Buddy likes to dig in the cover. And I was so scared he was just going to rip it up. And so I thought, I need my heavy-duty denim incomplete. Stay tuned. A project for another day will be finishing that off because the edges are still raw. And I made that when I was in Dolan Springs. So I might make it a little bit bigger. And I was also thinking, this is the way I like to lay the pillow. Look how lumpy it looks. But it's still a good pillow. Now, let's look at the other pillow because I'm looking for the blue. And I got the blue and then I kept thinking, ooh. What I kept thinking was I have this whole skein of pretty blue yarn. What kind of blue? Look how blue that is. And I only have one skein. And so I made this pillow all the way as big as I could and finished that skein of yarn. And it's very thick and heavy, and it was not an easy thing to do. So I ran out. So the other side is green, very light green. And it is full of leftover felted wool pieces that I use normally to fill pillows. So it gives you a very firm, nice, holds its shape kind of pillow. So I got the new cover and I got the pillows, and I still have a pillow to make. I'm missing one so that it's more like when you come in, it's mostly the granddaughters. When the granddaughters come visit, that way they can sit comfortable and have pillows on my bed here, which is also my sofa. Okay, so we finished this, and then what happened? Then I realized while I was making the skirt and the bag, I was using even the pillows. I had a reusable shopping bag, and that's where all the yarn was at. And it kept getting in my way, and it wasn't very pretty. So I thought, what am I going to do with all this leftover acrylic yarns? So I just started crocheting in a circle. I got it big enough, and then I thought, well, maybe a little bit bigger. Then I got it bigger, and then I went up the sides about this far, and I thought, where am I going to put this? It's too big. So I ripped it out, and I started again. And y'all, I was using a size 6, 6.5, a size 6.5 millimeter crochet hook, and 3 or 4 strands of yarn at the same time. I about blew my shoulder out, but I did it. And I made the basket, and it's got the handles. And I used up about, more than half of the acrylic yarns. And then I kind of went into a slump. I was very distressed over the feel, it looks fine. It just doesn't feel good. The acrylic yarns, they're red hard and they're very sturdy. And if you want to make a basket, number one choice would be the red heart because it's already very stiff and holds up good, makes a good basket. And but I wanted to get away from it. And so I'm looking for other acrylic yarns to make things, one, that will hold up to the wear and tear. Now, that's why I have made the blankets that I have made for my children and grandchildren have been out of an acrylic yarn, mostly acrylic, so that they can just wash it and dry it and not have to worry about it. And if it ends up on the ground like a blanket, well, it is a blanket, but if it ends up on the ground, it's easier to wash and dry and not have to deal with the wool. Now, personally, if I'm going to wear a fiber, I do not want to wear, I just want to wear wool, even in the summer. So this is wool. This was my first wool sweater. I knit it a long time ago. I made this over the winter. It's all wool. It's sock wool. And it's 2 strands together, I think. Is it? Yes, it is. It's very thick. And I tell you what, if I don't keep my head covered, I'm too cold. That's just the bottom line. So what am I making? My little bolero that I showed you in the last video. I had made a prototype out of the cotton, 24/7 cotton. And that was just to kind of see, am I envisioning it right? Am I going to like it? I love my little sweater. And I can't get over how heavy it is. So I love natural fibers. So cotton is good. Not necessarily this one, unless if you want a lightweight shirt. So these, I've got 2 of these. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. It's also, I can use it in the kitchen. So it might be a kitchen project. Now, the Mother's Day came. And the day before Mother's Day, because I wasn't going to see Molly and my family on Mother's Day, Molly sent up that big giant ball of wool, mostly wool. They almost always put a little bit of nylon or something in it because it's a sock weight yarn. You can also make sweaters, and it is what they call superwash. So I don't really have to worry about it being I wouldn't put it in a machine. I'm not going to put it in the machine, but I'm making the same little bolero, what I call a bolero. And I am experimenting with that big ball to see if I can make one complete little, it's kind of like a cropped cardigan too, but I'm not putting sleeves in it. Now this one I might do, if I've got yarn left over, I might do a little edging and stuff. But I've done all that since in the last 4 days. I can do it better. And I am using a Tunisian, which for me, because I was originally and still am a knitter, and I love the crochet and the speed of crochet because of my ADD brain. I want it done today so I can really get things done with the crochet versus knitting. It takes me a lot longer. However, the stitch pattern, I love the stitch pattern when you are making the Tunisian crochet, and I love the motion. It's so soothing to me. It's a lot like knitting. However, I can only not look while I'm knitting. You have to look when you're crocheting. So that's how I'm occupying for the moment because the rain won't let up long enough to let me out there and oh, you can't see it from here. I've still got my work table set up. I've got a cabinet I want to build. I'm making plans with David to do a big project in here. I want my oven. I need my oven and my 3 burners on top. And I want it in here. Now, where is it now, you might ask? Because some of you don't know. It's in the tiny. It's in my little tiny camp trailer. And it only uses propane. No electric required, but you do have to have a lighter so you can light that pellet. And I have baked bread in it. I bake cookies, mostly bread and cookies, which are much more nutritious for you if you make them yourself rather than buy them in the store. I know what's in my cookies. And I want to make cookies for my grandbabies right here on site and get them to come up here and have cookies. And I don't have milk. I don't even think they drink milk. Cookies and filtered water, filtered rainwater. How's that? So that's a big project coming up. And also, a project for another day because the rain's got to let up before anything happens, and David's back has to heal before I'm going to get him to do anything rolling around on the ground or climbing ladders to get on top of the tiny David. We must conserve. We're getting old. Me and David's the same age. For those of you who don't know, me and David graduated from high school the same year. And just I hope you're sitting down because that was 49 49 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. But yeah, it has. So it's coming up next year. I told David, I said, if we're still here, me and you are going to go to that 50th reunion and say, we made it. We only got another year, David, and it'll be the 50th. So we got to keep on keeping on. Keep on taking care of yourself. And like one of my favorite prepper channels, he always says, prepare yourself mentally, spiritually, and physically for what's coming. And we all know that's true. So do what you can. Get out there and make disciples. Get out there and love people. Love those people. Find them. A lot of them are alone and they're watching YouTube videos and they're looking for encouragement. I hope this encourages you. I hope that you will come back and see what I'm up to next and see the finished bolero. And I haven't even started this yarn. First, I got to get it wound up. And there might be a trip to a yarn shop. I'm watching you, Robin, to see what's going on. I heard there's a thing on Tuesdays, but I couldn't find it on Facebook. Y'all, I don't know Facebook no more. I don't know Facebook anymore. I don't know how to navigate it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to make it work. But Molly told me about it, and I do want to make sure I have enough of this to do what I want to do. And I'm thinking I might brave up and make me a regular long sleeve cardigan out of beautiful wool yarn. Stay tuned, and y'all take care and get your hearts, your minds, and your spirit ready.
Yeah. May the road rise to meet you and the sun kiss your face. May there always be a miracle waiting just to bless your day. Life won't always hand you roses. Don't let it get you down. Keep your eyes on what your goal is and your feet on solid ground. Take this with you where you go. You are love, love.